Welcome to Growing Your Firm, brought to you by Jetpack Workflow. We're here to help firms unlock the secrets to help you reach your goals faster. And now, here's your host, founder and CEO of Jetpack Workflow, David Cristello.
Hey everybody, David Cristello here, founder and CEO of Jetpack Workflow and host of Growing Your Firm podcast. Today's guest is Kayla Green with Bactrian Continuity. Really excited to have her on board. It's part of our Jetpack community series. So we've been excited to work with Kayla for a number of years through our software platform. But today's all about the firm and what they've been doing to grow. We talked a little bit about pre-interview. So they've had this really fantastic growth, not really putting much into kind of we'll call digital marketing, advertising. We've talked a little bit about that on the show. They've really grown in just this wonderful word of mouth way in their town. And so we're going to unpack that and so much more. But first, Kayla, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. For folks not familiar with the firm, can you tell us what you do and who you do it for?
Well, we are Bactrian Continuity. We do accounting services, obviously. Beyond that, we do payroll servicing, estate planning, financial advising. We're a one-stop shop for most people.
All right. And we talked about pre-interview. Like I said, you've been there for 6 years, been having this great growth, don't do traditional advertising. So help me understand what's been driving the growth. What are you providing that other folks are not providing that's really driving this great growth at the firm?
Well, we don't have anyone in our general area that provides what we provide. We take care of the hard work for our clients so they can continue to do the work they need to do to keep their business going and then advise them along the way. Sometimes the smallest thing is the biggest thing for someone else. But I focus more on the bookkeeping and payroll aspect of our firm. On average, I have around 20 payroll clients, all with different pay dates and, quarterly tax payments. People will get things from the IRS that they don't really understand. So they'll come into our office and make sure it's legitimate and find advice. And then they typically become our client after that. But what we do for clients really works because that's how we've been growing is other client telling other clients, or people will ask me, what do you do? And I tell them, anything you do in business, we can do it for you.
Yeah,
we take a lot of stress off of business owners and partners in a business. We really take a load off for them, and no one's offered that before. I know one particular client had an accountant that they never physically saw in person, and they never really saw any return from that firm. So they came to us because we're personable. And like I said, we're in a small area. We do know a lot of people already, but they just keep coming in. This tax season was probably our biggest tax season to date so far.
So small area, what's the size of the town?
That made population about 300 to 3,500 people. We're a rural farm community. We have a lot of family-owned farms, generation farmers, and then we just have a lot of different people and a lot of different businesses that really would kind of have not succeeded in that business or known their potential if not for our advising and our work. I feel proud of it.
Yeah. What's interesting is that, we've done some interviews and it's kind of like, well, how do you go national, global, get all the clients everywhere? And then once you get clients everywhere, which requires a lot of sales and marketing, and then how do you keep them so you don't become a commodity? And so as if you're a commodity, then you get driven down to the lowest pricing, and it's really hard to run a profitable firm. On the flip side, you operate in a small town, 3,500, 6 years, word of mouth, continues to grow every single year.
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but it would be so hard, not to say that it's not happening or won't happen in the future, for another firm to come in, try to copy you when what your competitive advantage is these deep relationships you have in the community.
It really pays to have a good relationship with your clients. And I've gone so far as to go and check the price of a vehicle for sale because a client didn't have time to, but they happened to pass it. They needed a work truck. I go and do that. We go above and beyond, and people appreciate it, and we're fast with what we do, and we get them results fast.
And from a client retention standpoint, what does that look like at the firm? Do you have a lot of client attrition? Has it been pretty steady? Is it better than expected? What does that look like for you all?
We really haven't lost a lot of clients. We've let go a couple of clients just because we weren't the right fit for them, and they didn't live in our area, but we just kind of weren't on the same page. And so they kind of they wanted control, but they wanted us to also do the things that they wanted control over. And it wasn't a good mix. So we helped them find someone else that was a better fit and was closer to their area. And as far as our tax clients, we have in several different states.
You have this fantastic,
Florida,
you have this
Texas,
fantastic practice, longstanding clients. It's the town size is the town size. It is what it is, but it's a business that should be very enduring and stay
Yes.
around for a long time and build this amazing kind of lifestyle for folks involved in it. Now, has there been any advertising? Any, people drive by, they see your sign and come in? Is there newspaper ads? What does that look like?
We haven't run any newspaper ads. We don't have any signage outside. We have sponsored little leagues, different school events, things like that, to where we do have our sign maybe on the baseball diamond field, the fencing there, or at the local county fair. We have things there. But that's really as much advertising as we've done. And we own our own domain website. So we have that's just in the last year that we've established that. And we haven't really seen any growth because of that. Just someone tells someone, hey, you need to go talk to them. They can help you. And it works. And we're reasonably charging people. Some people we probably undercharge, but the benefit of that is we gain that client. They tell someone else. They're not getting ripped off. Our goal is to get the most results, the best results, most cost-effective results, or maximum return that our clients need.
Yeah, I mean, what's so interesting is, sometimes on the show we'll talk about different niches and we'll say, oh, there's interior designers. Some people specialize in interior designers or dentists or this or that or this. I mean, your niche is this town, 3,500. You are going to be the firm for these 3,500. And in theory, maybe over this, last 6 years, assuming at least every single person has seen or heard something about the firm.
Yes.
Probably.
Or they wonder, what do they do in that building? And someone will tell them.
Yeah. So no signage right now, no digital marketing, no advertising. You're involved in local community events. You sponsor local community events. And, so I think a lot of times firms, when they're starting out, they're like, oh, I need the sign. I need the perfect website. I need to run Google ads. I need to get my pricing perfect. It's like, well, you found great set of clients. You've over-delivered for those clients. You're servicing an area that everybody there is really passionate about. You feel like you're all really dug into this wonderful community.
Mm-hmm.
And the firm has flourished because of that. And all of these things that people might think of like, well, I need before I get started, is you didn't really need it. You just needed to go out and get the results for the clients.
Correct. And essentially, before I started with the firm, my boss had one client and they were struggling with their business. He helped them to get back on track, and they're officially debt-free and they're successful. And then that trickled down to the business right down the road, and it just went from there. And those two businesses are still two of our strongest clients and really our friends.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Well, I have to ask, I know it's a little self-serving, so full disclosure for people listening. You mentioned all these different payroll schedules. You said 20 payroll clients, all these different schedules. How are you managing them?
Through Jet. If I didn't have Jetpack, I can only imagine the amount of Post-it notes. My calendar would just, I wouldn't be able to keep track. When I first started here, I had never used a program like Jetpack, but each day I'm checking off tasks and I can click on the client. I can see what needs to be done. I know when the due date is. So part of what I do is schedule quarterly or weekly or monthly tax payments. And those are important things. They have a due date. And just without Jetpack, I feel I would make mistakes. I would have errors, and errors would affect our clients sometimes in a really big way. So I love how Jetpack flows. It's just, and each month I get the achievement award because I've checked off the most. But that's because I do so much payroll and there's so many different tasks involved. But I just love the layout. I love how it's formatted. Kudos to the inventor because I wish I would have come up with something like this.
I love it.
It's such a beneficial program, and we've never thought about using anything else.
Well, Kayla, that's fantastic. And we really appreciate the kind words. And it's been so great working with you and your firm over the years. If somebody wants to reach out, they listen to the interview and they love your story, they want to reach out and say thank you for coming on, maybe ask you a question, what would be the best way for them to connect with you?
Well, they can email me at Kayla@Bactrian.cpa. That's KAYLABACTRIAN.CPA.
Fantastic. And we're going to jot up everything on jetpackworkflow.com/blog. That's jetpackworkflow.com/blog. We'll do all the links and show notes in there. If you enjoyed today's interview, leave a review. It helps us get the word out. If you really enjoyed it, Kayla said something really sparked a new idea for you and your firm, share it with a fellow firm owner that needed to hear it. I know that's the best way to thank Kayla for coming on. Kayla, thanks again for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for joining Growing Your Firm, the podcast series for global, small, and medium-sized businesses ready to scale and increase profits. You can check out more podcasts by following the links in the show notes. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you're listening. At Jetpack Workflow, we're all about maximizing returns for accounting firms and CPAs. Check out more podcasts on growing your firm and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.